This thing plays in HD, and plus it plays PAL US games too. Plus it has 4 players, so 4-player Bomberman, I think. Alright, the first game we got is Joy Mech or Mecha Fight. Now this is a pretty fun 2-button fighter actually put up by Nintendo in about '93. Actually has a large roster, each plays significantly different from the rest. This one's actually worth a good go. And moving on, we got Splatterhouse Wampalku Graffiti. This is actually quite different from the main series. However, you still play as Rick saving his girlfriend. This is a nice, 2D side-scroller. Game is a little flaw, I'm not gonna lie. This time the hit detection is BS, but typically in your benefit. And the more enemies you kill, you increase your life, as you can see by the top left-hand corner. Once you hit up that threshold, you get another hit point. And then, the bosses of the game are also decently fun as well. And our last NES game is Holy Diver. Now this game is a Castlevania clone, but it's good. I'm stealing a JonTron joke, but it's made by IREM, because I don't remember them.
R-Type what?
R-Type's actually a really good shoot 'em up if you ever give that one a shot.
I agree on that one. They're also doing the re-release of Holy Diver soon too.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that. Forgot all about
Holy
that.
Diver, and I think they're doing the SNES card of Super R-Type, R-Type 3.
You gotta look out for those. Well, my wall wouldn't like that.
Same.
Alright, we're moving to our next system, the Super Famicom, or Super Nintendo. Now, this is actually a very easy system to import for. See, the tabs in the US system, it's just a physical lockout, so grab those pliers and go. That's it. Well, if you get the import the system, it has side tabs. If you remove those, US cartridges are bigger, and they won't fit. So you gotta modify even further. So just get the US system, it's just easier. However, you can't play European games, so you're gonna need a converter. And we're gonna move on to Ganbare Goemon 2. That's the sequel to the Mystic Ninja on the Super Nintendo. This is a very fun side-scroller, which does have great co-op on top of it. And my fun part here, as you can kind of see the washed-out background half, giant robot fights. Trust me on this one. There's also 3 selectable characters planned, as you can see the 3 right there on the cover art. Next we have Mario to Wario or Mario Wario. Now this is actually an interesting game because it actually requires the Super Nintendo mouse, which basically you click around, the squares there to make the blocks appear, and have the characters walk across to get the angle as the fairy pops off the buttons. And the best part is it's 100% English, made by the guys who made Pokemon, also known as Game Freak. And this one's just a fun, quirky one, want something a little bit different. And the last one is a Violinist of Hamelin. And this is another platformer, but this one's kind of similar to A Boy and His Blob, sorta. Now, I've never seen an anime or manga or anything, but basically as you go through the game, you collect power-ups to turn your partner into other things, such as like that weird platypus thing, or a weird chicken thing, or an ostrich helping get to higher platforms. And this one's just a bit of a blast to go through. We got one to finish it up. Next we got the Nintendo 64. Now, this one is the opposite of Super Nintendo. You have to stand down the sides to get things to work. And, of course, once again, European games won't work. Or you just, import the Japanese system, rip out the tops. Whichever one is easier. Or Plan B, converter. Nintendo 64 Passport and the Game Shark are great ways around this. The first one we got is Custom Robo. Now, there is games on the GameCube. They're pretty similar. Build your robot, take out the robots in a nice enclosed arena as you walk around the city and battle other people. This is actually made by the guys who made Chibi Robo. And also there's Nintendo DS games officially released stateside later on. Next we got Bango, which Bango is bit of an interesting one now. You fly around the map, taking out enemies, shooting out your missiles, and collecting fruit for points. And this was actually released later on the Dreamcast, Xbox Live Arcade, which, if memory serves me right, isn't that dead now? Don't quote me on that. And there's also a sequel on Nintendo DS. Next, we got Sin and Punishment. Best way I can kind of describe this game, it's an action rail shooter, or kind of like Star Fox, except you can run on the ground, and you can fly around the air and take down enemies. The dialogue's completely in English. That doesn't mean anything. The story makes no damn sense. And there's also a really good and surprisingly more difficult sequel on the Wii. And this was on the Wii Shop, but
Right.
Dun dun. Thanks, Nintendo. Reggie won. Alright, next we got the Nintendo GameCube. Now there are modifications out there to change the region by the system with a Switch, or you can get a swap disc. Now, usually every year, Video Games New York is here, and I have seen them sell this before, so you can actually get this stuff here. Now, next we got Doshin the Giant, which was actually released in Europe, and on the Nintendo 64 disc drive, but who's ever seen one of those in person? The only one.
That's about it.
Yeah. Somehow my brother-in-law actually has one in his room, didn't know what the hell it was. I should steal this, because you're getting a divorce, but it's not going to happen. Alright, but Doshin the Giant's a god game where you kind of raise them to be either good or bad depending on what you choose them to do. Moving on to the next one, we got Nintendo Puzzle Collection. If you guys couldn't guess by the title, it's puzzle games. That's Puzzle Pokemon, otherwise known as Tetris Attack here, or maybe you play Pokemon Puzzle League on the Game Boy Color. And also it's Dr. Mario and Yoshi's Cookie. And all these games are also transferable to the GBA link cable. So you can play them on the go until you turn off the system. They're like, how do I do this? I got nothing for the car ride. Alright. Now Wii U, and 3DS, unfortunately I'm not going to be doing them this year because I have no way to truly play these without modifying the system software, and this can break your system. I apologize, I'm going to be skipping these systems this year. Next we got the Game Boy Advance / Family. And you don't have to worry about it, just plug it right in and you're ready to play. And first we got Rhythm Tengoku or Rhythm Heaven. Now this is what happens when you give the Warrior Director a rhythm game. Now don't think like your Guitar Hero and stuff, you actually have to play to the beat. So if it's like, you gotta keep to that. If not, you're gonna fail. You're gonna feel bad. Needless to say, you really don't need to know any Japanese for this one. You just go straight in and just wonder what the moon runes mean.
The games are very, 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 very fun.
Yeah, but difficult at times.
Agreed. It's fun.
Though Nintendo, why did you release Rhythm Heaven 4 physically here? Why? Europe got it.
We had the one on the Wii.
Like I always thought like Rhythm Heaven didn't do too hot. I mean they did like decently, but like not enough like to get like a physical. It sounds like Ace Attorney and all that.
Yeah, but it's still fun.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna deny that. I'm just like I feel there's a reason it might not be physical, even though I really also want a cartridge.
Oh, I totally get it.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to the next title. We got Kuro Run. This actually was released in Europe. Now, the best way I can describe it says, everyone know the irritating stick game on PlayStation 1? Where basically you try and keep the stick between the two rails and not try to touch the sides. That's basically that, but your ship's always rotating. So don't hit the sides. And you see all those deaths happening right there? That's going to happen until you master it. Yes, and this actually was released on the Wii U shop for US. There actually was a sequel on both the GBA under Paradise and a GameCube one, which I haven't gotten to yet. Plus, just cute guys. How can this be an important gaming panel without mentioning Mother 3 at least once? Now, this is an RPG, it's a sequel to Earthbound, and this game stars Lucas, another guy from Super Smash Bros. Brawl. The best way I can describe Mother 3 aside from just go play it, if you're in the mood to cry at the end of the game, do it. Aside from that, I don't want to spoil it. And plus, This has one of the best RPG systems with the health countdown system. If you heal yourself right before you die, you don't die. Alright, next we got the Nintendo DS. No region lockouts. And for anyone wondering, you can play original DS games on the 3DS through, as long as they're not DSi enhanced games. Next we got Jump Superstar / Jump Ultimate Stars. Now, this is Super Smash Brothers. If you added a health bar, but there's still ring outs, you can switch between characters, or some characters go attack for you. So yes, you can have Yugimoto versus Dio from Part 3 versus Gon versus, I don't know, Yusuke. While summoning like Light Yagami to try and right to death and take one of your other guys out. In other words, you will have fun, you will enjoy it, and the latter game is a little bit easier to import because the missions are more straightforward. But the first one, you're going to have equal fun between the two games. And next, we got freshly picked Jingles Rosie Ruby Land. The best way to describe it is an adventure game where everyone wants your hard-earned rupees. You want to get information? Pay up. You want to do something? Pay up. You run out of rubies? Game over. Now, this game actually has a great sense of humor. It's actually a really interesting spin-off of the Zelda franchise, and this actually is a European release. And this game just, of course, it's PG panel, so I can't curse, but it's freaking weird. Alright, next we got Mario Nenketsu Rhythm Damashi Os Takake Oendan 2. Now, is anyone here like the Leap Beat Agents? It's better.
Yep.
Basically, the couple problems with Leap Beat Agents, they improved upon it. Now, if you've never played it, it's kind of similar to the Hatsune Miku games in the sense where, you know, as the circle's closing in, you have to touch on the touchscreen to get in the timing, as you see hilarious cutscenes in between. Needless to say, go for it, it's worth it. If you import, coincidentally, the first game has one of the openings, the original FMA. I think the number 2. The one that was only on Adult Swim because I never played any others. Next we got the PlayStation. They can use Game Shark, Goldfinger, or other cheating devices to overlock the region lockout. However, later games released in the PlayStation life cycle made these devices obsolete. Case off my top of my head, the JoJo fighting game released on here uses like a 2 checkpoint system. Like, okay, went through, wait, wrong region, so we won't go through. And I'll get to one other detail in a second. And heads up, most games use the O to accept things instead of X, which is kind of
frustrating.
Yeah, and then you go between regions and you're like, wait, no. Smell like you're solid all over again. I got one detail. The old PlayStation, which I have pictured here, some that had a parallel part in the back, which was removed in later systems revisions, so the Goldfinger and stuff, can't use it on it. Thanks, Sony. Next we got Gunner's Heaven, also known as Rapid Reload in Europe. Now this is basically Metal Slug before Metal Slug was a thing by about 6 months. Don't quote me on that. It was actually made by the guys who did Wall Gun. Best way to describe it is, like I said, Metal Slug, but you get power-ups only last for a couple seconds, but as you keep collecting them, time keeps adding up. If you get to the boss, it freezes on the boss. So it makes bosses sometimes a joke. You get to choose between 2 characters, Actual Sonic, and I don't remember the girl's name.
It's very similar to Gunstar Heroes.
Yeah. Honestly, I completely agree on that one. And next we got Police Knots. Hideo Kojima's one of his best games ever released. Just right before he did Metal Gear Solid, and Meryl does appear in this game. They literally took her design and everything straight from this game, straight into a Metal Gear Solid. But you play as Jonathan, one of 5 police knots. But he's out on a mission. You know, he's out there in space. Someone cuts him loose, freezes in space for how many years? But he's been found. So then he becomes a private eye as his wife's moved on with their life. You know, has a daughter, husband, and then she comes into the office like, hey, I need you to save my daughter. I don't know. Goes out, she gets killed, like, I gotta go save her. And he teams up with, got his name too, because it's been like a year and a half since I played it. And they go out, and it's a good point-and-click adventure game. If you like Snatcher, it's also up your alley as well. But once again, another Hideo Kojima game. Next we got Vib Ribbon. And this is actually made by the guy who did Parappa the Rappa. Now this game uses, for the buttons, to go through obstacles, as you can see on the PP animation. You press buttons to get over obstacles, jump over things as you go through. But what makes this game interesting is if you put in the disc and go to one of the settings, you can switch discs. So let's say you put your Metallica or a Vocaloid disc. You actually play the game to that song, and it'll randomly generate it to that to make it a really easy song. Or you get Hell. And this actually was released on PSN, with the PS3 version actually retaining this option.
Ooh.
Well, Vita owners, well, Sony screwed us over. Alright, next we got the PlayStation 2. Now you can use a swap magic flip top mod, where you basically replace the top of your PlayStation 2 and put that in, and you put the swap magic in and then switch discs. With 2 discs in there, one for CDs and one for DVD. Or you can alternatively use the PS2 HDD, but this will require the PS2 fat model. And you could totally pirate games, but I can't condone in that, but you could totally do that. And with PlayStation 1 games as well, but totally, I don't know, not legal. Alright, next we got Namco Cross Capcom, which is a strategy RPG / fighter. If you play Project Crossout, you know what you're getting yourself into. Move your characters across the board, hit into an enemy, and your first attack will always deal damage, but if your level's different enough, you won't cause damage. Of course, got my boy Cornell and others in this game, but what's Namco doing with him nowadays? Actually, wait, they're making a movie. I take that back. And next we got Mushihime Sama. Pretty fun bullet hell, heavily inspired by Miyazaki's Nausicaa Valley of the Wind. It was also later released on the Xbox 360 and iOS. It's a fun bullet hell by Cave. I recommend it. I don't really remember much of the story. And next we got Taiko Drum Master. Now this game, or Taiko no Tatsuijin, that's a nice rhythm game where you have a nice drum pictured as so, where you hit inside the drum for notes and outside of it, together for the big notes. Now this was kind of released in the US, but be honest here, who wants to drum out to Britney Spears? Exactly. And this, there was a lot of games made. These were released on the DS, the 3DS, the Wii, the Wii U, the PSP, the iOS. The Switch just got announced for one, and it will have an English option for the Asian release. And the PlayStation 3 version also has English as well. That's what I was playing like 2 weeks ago. And we got the PlayStation 3. Now, there's no region lockout except Persona 4 Arena, but not its sequel. And there is a region lockout on DLC. The DLC must match the region of both the region of the game and the region of the PSN account. This is what Sony did to Europe because of Call of Duty. People keep importing the US version because it was cheaper. And PlayStation 1 and 2 games as well. And you can play Japanese PS games on your US console. But PSN points are region locked. But I'll go over later how to get hold of those. First, we got Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme Versus. The most recent one did come out stateside, but if you want a cheap alternative, you can get this and the 2 sequels on the PlayStation 3. The best way to describe it is you have a team of 3, and your team has X amount of points. So the better the Gundam, the more points you spend to get it. Or you have all crappy Gundams, and your team has X amount of points as dictated by the bottom left-hand corner, and that runs at 0, you lose. And next we got X-Troopers. Anyone here like Lost Planet? This is basically Lost Planet, because it's a spin-off, except in high school, in Japan. Where have I heard that story before? It was also released on the 3DS, but region lockout. Basically keeps everything that they had. It's a fun action third-person shooter, you still have the grappling gun. It's worth playing, worth recording, and it's cheap as hell. And next we got Trash. I mean K-On! Take that back. Actually, K-On's okay. We got K-On! Okage Live HD. Now this is a fun rhythm game that's also released on the PSP. And finally, starting to joke the gig up now, you can finally see these girls playing music and sometimes cute things. Because in between, you do see some cute cutscenes as I've had pictures right there. But I don't know Japanese, so I don't know what they're saying. Maybe they're finally telling each other off. Either way, you screw it up. Out of the band. Alright, we're going to quickly go over PSN. You can make an account for any region. And once again, PSN points are region locked. But no games are region locked, though some demos are. Like I said, Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance. And where you can find a quick tutorial on this is Kotaku. Finally, something good from them. Alright, we got the PSP and PlayStation Vita. And praise the sun, no region lockout. But once again, the DLC must master region of the game in the region of the PSN account. So we're going to start with Macross Ace Frontier, a 3D mech shooter based off the Macross franchise. I forgot how far it goes in the series, or Robotech is kind of released here, but you know, blasphemy. Best way to describe this game is, you know, you go around the map, you take out the other, robots, just fly around the map. I don't know much of the story because I've never watched Macross. Lewis, I don't know Japanese, and I gotta fix that to both of them. But definitely worth a shot, guys. Next, we got another European import, Tales of Eternia. Now this was sort of released stateside as Tales of Destiny 2, but you want to pay $130 on PlayStation 1. I'd rather pay the $30 I paid for that. It's 100% English with English voice acting. Basically how the game starts off is there's two planets above each other, and one crash lands down on the other one. And they don't understand the same language, and they're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And I gotta get around to finishing this game soon. The combat's fun. If you like Tales, this is still definitely up your alley. Next we got Gundam Breaker. As I quote my friend from years ago, so you're making Frankenstein guns to fight each other. Yes. Basically, it's all the gunplay. You build your gun together, you know, any particular build you want. Now, there's also available on the PlayStation 3, but this version actually has more content. And the best part is, at the end of the month, we're getting actually one of the games. But if you do get the other ones, there's just enough English in it that you can get through. Or if you know a little katakana, you can translate some of the stats. So you'll be like, all right, that's saber, that's gun. You'll be good to go. And lastly, we got Atfield. Now, it's a golf game, but it's cool. It's surprising all of you. Now, this is decked out with content for mission mode to dressing up your custom golfer. And it has an interesting use of the motion controls, because it's kind of like kinetic golf. After you take your swing, you kind of use the PlayStation Vita to get the ball in the hole, but then you're cursing because the motion controls don't want to work. You're like, should have hole in one. And you're just swearing and just gotta go buy another PlayStation Vita. Thankfully, not an actual store. Alright, now we got the Sega Mega Drive. Now, you can modify the game slot to play Mega Drive games. Alternatively, you can get the Genesis Model 3, pictured below. But some games, mainly Konami, after 1992 were region locked. Thankfully, the Game Shark with a code can get around this. But there raises an issue. However, one too many. However, some games cannot be played on that Model 3 Genesis like Alien Soldier, because interestingly, they used a hardware glitch that let them really use the system well, but Majesco, the US company, coincidentally based in New Jersey, fixed the bug in this version. Whoops. Now let's move on. Now we got Monster World 4. Now, this is actually part of the Monster World series, except for this time around you're playing Aisha, a girl. It's actually really fun. I really want to call it an RPG because it's not. It's basically a 2D platform with health upgrades around as you use your blue thing. It's been a while since I've played. Use them kind of to toss and take out other enemies or use them as a platform. And this actually was re-released in English for the Xbox 360 and PS3 and Wii, but dum-dum. And someone can feel free to say I'm wrong on this, but I think the new Genesis collection just came out has this on it, but I'm not 100% sure on that. The next guy got Magical Tululu Kun, which I heard kind of like Fairly Odd Parents that ran in Shonen Jump. Now this is based off the manga, like I said, I made the same name, but it should be very noted, other versions of this game are not the same. This one's made by Game Freak, the other ones I believe are made by Bandai. And this is just a really fun 2D platformer it's worth your time. And next we got our good classic boy, Yu Yu Hakusho Bakoi Toi Tsutsen. Probably butchered that horribly. It's actually a 2D fighter using actually two planes to fight with up to 4 fighters. Of course, and this was actually released in Brazil under Yu Yu Hakusho Sunset Fighters. And basically it goes up to the Dark Tournament and you can fight with all those characters. But what's interesting is the spiritual sequel in the DS known as Bleach, the Fated Blade. And there was a sequel on top of that. You know, they're worth playing. Thank you, Sega. And let's move on to the Sega Saturn. And this leaves one out here legitimately, just no joke, just put the action replay in. They're all good. And next we got Elevator Action Returns. This is one of the best 2D action games you've never played. And oh boy, prepare to shell out money for it. Thankfully, it was ported to the PS2, Xbox, and PC at Taito Legends 2. Basically, it was released in like 94, 95, that ballpark. And just the action, carnage, and the 2 players, it's worth playing. And next we got Donpachi. Another cave bullet hell released by Atlas in Japan. And it's B-based. A weird aesthetic there, but I'm okay with it. Future titles were released on PS2, Xbox 360, and iOS. Prepare to die. And next we got Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. Now this was released on the PlayStation 1 in the US, but that version is garbage.
Not kidding.
Come on, and then, you know, for that they released 2 fighters, you only can have 1, and no, get this one. Because it has an exclusive character based on the Japanese comedian Kanashi, so if I pronounce that, character Norimaru, who's like this mad pervert taking the pictures and just taking them out as he's just hilarious. If you played the Versus games, you know what you're getting at, but this does require the 4 megabyte expansion pack. Alright, next we got the Dreamcast. And I just personally used the Utopia swap disk, which you can just burn into a CDR. Or, you know, you can use burned games, but I'm not saying anything. Alright, we got Frame Grid, which this is guided by the guys who brought you Dark Souls, or Armored Core. It plays very similar to them. You know, make your robot, go out, take out the maps. It's a fun 3D action. It's a little clunky, but it's worth your time. And next got Puyo Puyo N. It's another puzzle game. This is like the other Puyo Puyo games, except it adds a special power bar. There we go. And the Nintendo, it's also on the Nintendo 64, PS1, and Game Boy Color. However, I'd probably just say at this point, just get Puyo Puyo Tetris. Especially on the Switch. Who doesn't want to play it on the go? And next we got Cool Cool 2. Now this is actually a pretty fun rhythm game. Think Elite Beat Agents meets Project Diva with a cool cell shading style to it. Now with the analog stick, you basically move it down and press A at the right time as its circle's going down, or sometimes there's like a rhythm, it's going down, so you gotta control the control stick with it. But there's this one infuriating mission where it's kind of like Rapper the Rapper, where you have to keep the buttons to it. The thing is, it's like Rapper the Rapper. It's beyond picky how close it wants you to do. It doesn't even show you the notes where it is. Yeah. It's made by the guys who did SNK, and it has some connectivity with Cool Cool Jam on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Another worthwhile import title. And we got the 360. Like I said, most titles are region locked, but the following ones I'm recommending are not, so I'll import these with ease. We got Mushihime-sama Futari, which is a sequel to... Yeah, just look at that.
The definition of bullet hell.
That is a bullet hell.
Yeah.
Once again, another bug aesthetic, but this one's fun. I gotta get around to playing it again. And another bullet hell, surprise, surprise, that's Bagola 2 Black Label. But it should be noted, if you import this, a limited edition is region locked, but not this one. Once again, another K bullet hell, and you're gonna die. Any questions? Yep, you're gonna die. And next, the new system for this year is the Wonder Swan, which I've skipped over every year till now. That's the Japanese-only release handheld. There are 3 consoles in the family. You have the original, which is black and white, the color, and the crystal. And the crystal does have a backlight. However, the latter 2 are backwards compatibility, so you're all good. Plus it runs on 1 AA for like 25 hours. This thing's sweet. Thank you, Gunpei. And then he died, unfortunately, after me. Rest in peace, Game Boy father. And we got Kaze no Klonoa Moonlight Museum. Now, if you play the GBA games, you've got an idea what you're coming into. This is a 2D action puzzle platformer where you take your enemies and basically use them to get over obstacles to take out other enemies. You know, basically like your ex-girlfriend you left.
God.
Now, this has been on the short side, and it's pretty easy to, I'm not going to pretend, but this one's worthwhile. This one is going up in price, and people are texting me. Klonoa, most of the titles have been released here, except for Klonoa Volleyball and the RPG, but all the others came out stateside. All of them are worth playing. Get them before they cost too much, because the Wii one's starting to go up. Of course, that's the only title I had, because I only got the system this year. But now where to get these games from? You got eBay, Amazon, Amazon.co.jp,